Hello everyone, happy Tuesday, second day of virtual learning. I hope you're all having a good time at home, doing productive and fun things. I've been practicing cursive, which is kind of an interesting thing, but as you can tell from my title of Tuesday Substitution, I still have some work to do, but that's okay. It's not looking like this quarantine's ending for a while anyway. But today we're working on substitution, so I'm going to run through a few problems with you. I'm just going to go through them. I do suggest that you pause the video and try going through them yourself and then watch me go through them, because you can watch me do this all day and you can nod your head and it'll make sense, but being able to actually do it when it comes to any quizzes or tests coming later this year or in your next years of math, it's important that you know how to do it. So for this one, we have y equals 2x minus 4 and 2y plus 3x equals 6. This one's pretty easy because that first equation is already isolated, so you can just plug in 2 times our y, which is 2x minus 4, plus our 3x is equal to 6. Distribute out, you get 4x minus 8 plus 3x equals 6. Combine your like terms, you get 7x minus 8 equals 6. Add 8 on both sides, and you get 7x is equal to 14. Divide by 7. And you get x is equal to 2. Now we're not done there. We have to figure out what y is equal to. So I just plugged, make sure you can actually see what I'm writing. I just plugged it back into the first equation. But you can plug it into the other equation too if you like that better. 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. So your final answer for this one is 2, 0. All right. I'm going to do that one last. All right. For our next one, I'm thinking of doing 2x plus 3y is equal to 15, and x minus 3y is equal to 3. Now, I know that you could easily do this one with elimination, but I want to challenge you to do substitution with this. It's good practice, I promise. So with this one, what I did was I just moved this 3y over. So I added 3y on both sides. And I got x is equal to 3 plus 3y. So then I took this equation and I plugged it into the top equation up here. And I got 2 times 3 plus 3y plus another 3y is equal to 15. So then I distributed out, and I got 6 plus 6y plus 3y is equal to 15. So then I combined like terms, and I got 6 plus 9y is equal to 15. And then I subtracted 6 on both sides, and I got 9y is equal to 9. And I divided by 9 on both sides, and I got y is equal to 1. And again, we're not done. So then I went back up here and I plugged it into the x minus 3y equation. Now 3 times 1 is just 3, so then I added 3 on both sides. And I got x is equal to 6. So our final answer is 6, 1. So the next system that I want to have you try is negative 3x plus y equals 2 and x plus y equals 6. Now again, since these two variables both have no coefficient, have a coefficient of 1, you can easily solve for either of the equations. I chose to solve for y. Now if you decided to just solve for x, that works too. I decided to solve for y because then I wouldn't have to distribute when I plugged back in later. But it's ultimately your decision, whatever you want to do. You'll get the same answer either way. So then I plugged this back in up here, and I got negative 3x plus 6 minus x is equal to 2. And then I combined like terms, and I got negative 4x plus 6 equals 2. Then I subtracted 6 on both sides. And I got negative 4x is equal to negative 4. And then I divided negative 4 on both sides. And I got x is equal to 1. So then I plugged it back in to this equation here. And I got y is equal to 5. So our final answer is 1, 5. All right, so I have one more equation, one more systems that I want to give you. And this one is a bit of a challenge, so if you do get stuck, it's okay. But I definitely want you to challenge yourself with this one. It does involve a little bit of fractions, but it'll also be good practice for plugging things into your calculator, because I know some of you are having a little trouble with that in your warm-ups. So the system I want you to try is 6x plus 4y is equal to 12. And 3x plus 2y is equal to 6. Now what I chose to do was to solve for x out of this equation. Mainly because the coefficients were smaller, and it's just what I chose to do. But if you decided to choose to solve for y in this one, if you decided to use this equation, it'll all work out as long as you do your math right. It's up to you. So what I did was I subtracted 2y first on both sides and got 3x is equal to 6 minus 2y. And then I divided by 3 on both sides. Now, you can leave this equation written out like this, 6 minus 2y all divided by 3, or you can rewrite it as 6 divided by 3 minus 2y divided by 3. I chose to write it that way because then I could rewrite it as 6 divided by 3, which is 2, minus 2/3 y. So now we have our x equation. Sorry, moved my phone. And I'm going to plug it back into this top equation up here. So 6 times 2 minus 2/3 y plus our 4y is equal to 12. So I'm going to distribute that out, and I get 12. And this, when you plug it into your calculator right, you'll get 4y plus 4y is equal to 12. Now here comes the tricky part, beyond just having a fraction. These will cancel out. But don't get too crazy on just quickly writing off that as a no solution, because what you're left with is 12 is equal to 12, which is true. So you actually are left with y is equal to 0. So then You can plug that back into any of your equations. I chose to use this one here. 3x plus 2 times 0 is equal to 6. You're left with 3x is equal to 6. Divide by 3 on both sides. X is equal to 2. So your final answer is 2, 0.